Hey everybody, it's Scott. Welcome back to the One-Off Shop. Is your sweet tooth bothering you today? So is mine. Stick around and I'll give you something to put in your cake hole. Alright, to start off our flavor explosion today, we're going to be making a devil's food cake. Just go ahead and make it up according to the box directions. Go ahead and get it in a parchment lined 9x13 and go ahead and get it baking. So I've got the mix here. We'll go ahead and add our cup of water, half a cup of oil. This is just by the box directions. 3 eggs. Alright, we'll get that mixed up. Didn't need to see me pour batter into a pan, did you? I didn't think so. Go ahead and get your cake in the oven, and then we'll move on to the next step. So what we're actually doing today is we're going to be putting together a cake and a cheesecake. And then we're going to throw in chocolate just for good measure. Alright, so our next step, you're going to want to take a pack of graham crackers. I'm using a springform pan just because it's going to be easy. But you want to go ahead and line the bottom of this with some parchment. Now I know it's round and most of your parchments come out in a rectangle, so I'll show you a trick on how to trim it so it'll fit perfectly in the bottom of your springform pan. In order to cut out a square rectangular parchment so it'll fit this circle nice and evenly, what you want to do is look at your parchment and how it's folded. You find that center point, that's the fold that you're looking for. You take that corner, find the center of your pan here, place that corner right in the center. Then all you got to do is trace your finger around the edge and make a crease in your parchment. Then take your scissors and cut it right along that crease line. Just like that. And then, when you unfold it, you get a nice little round piece of parchment that fits your springform pan. Alright, so we got the cake in the oven. We've got our round circle cut for the bottom of our springform pan here. What we're going to be doing next is we're going to be making a graham cracker crust in the bottom. Easiest way to do that is 1 pack of graham crackers, 3/4 cups of butter, and mix all that up in a bowl until you get it all nice and mushy. Now if you remember when I did my granola bars, I said I wasn't going to try to do that by hand again, and I'm not. Let's break out some power tools. Alright, let's do a little dust up on some graham crackers here. Get them nice and small so we don't have to stand around for 3 or 4 minutes mashing them up. Just go ahead and open this up. Well, maybe I should have put you guys in a different spot. It's the only real spot I got for it from this angle. Alright, got those in there. Let's just go ahead and pulse those right quick and get them crumbed up. Voila! Alright, we're going to go ahead and add our butter in, but I don't want to add all of it all at once because we want to get this to a certain texture. We don't want it to be too moist. So let's dump in about half our butter. Now remember, this is 3/4 of a cup. Grab a paper towel here. Set this bowl on. There we go. Alright, so we got about half of it in there. Let's go ahead and pulse that. That's about what we're looking for. All right, we'll move on to the next step. Stop right. So to do the base of your cheesecake, we've got our springform pan here with our cutout parchment in the bottom. Now we want to go ahead and line the sides of this too, because we're not doing a baked cheesecake. We're using instant. I know, it's cheating. Sorry. But anyway, we still want to line this pan. So what you do is after you've cut out your circle, if you'll take the leftovers of your sheet, you can cut 2 long strips out of it. And depending on the size of your pan, you might need 2 or 3, maybe 4 if you've got a giant springform pan. But anyway, you cut these strips, stick a little water to the side of the inside of your springform pan here, and then you can stick these up and they'll stick against the wall, and then you can put in your crust and your fillings. All right, so let's go ahead and try that. Let's douse a little water on the sides here. See if we can get this to stick by folding it the other way. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we just want it to sit up in there while we put in our graham cracker crust. Put one here. I had to break out a second sheet and cut one more because my pan's a little bit bigger. And we'll just get those in there like that. Cut that water off. Now make sure that they overlap on all sides. Oh, that's not acting right. Let's see if we can put that fold the other way here. Yeah, that seems to work better. Take the crease out, Scott. It would help. Sorry, senior moment. Alright, so those are just like that. Let's go ahead and dump our graham cracker mixture inside here. Come on, get in there. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll take the bottom of our butter bowl here. Let me go ahead and wipe it off. I like these anchor hocking bowls. They've got this curved edge on the bottom. Go ahead and we'll take that and just start mashing that down. Make sure you work it out to the edges. Make sure it's nice and even all the way across. Alright, what you want to do is take the back of your finger right here and go right around the outside edge and push down that little rim that builds up. And that's going to snug everything up against that parchment paper on the outside edge. You just do it like that. See what I'm doing there? That's all you got to do, and that just tamps down that edge. Do that all the way around. Make sure your parchment doesn't come up. Do that all the way around just like that. Nice and sturdy. Alright, so what we want to do is go ahead and stick this into your oven. Our cake is out and it's cooling right now, but we can stick this in the oven and just leave it there until our cake's completely cool, and that'll just let this par bake a little bit just to kind of stiffen it up. We got our cake is cooling here on a rack, and we've got our graham cracker mixture in our springform pan in the oven, par baking. Don't leave it in there for more than about 10 minutes or so, otherwise the graham crackers will start to turn dark and they'll start getting a burnt flavor. You'll lose that nutty flavor. Alright, this is where the fun begins. We've got our graham cracker crust out and it's nice and cool now, and as you can see, it's gotten a little hard. You can see it pulled away from the edges just a little bit. That's how you know when it's done. When it starts to pull away from that parchment, go ahead and pull it out of the oven. Alright, we'll set that aside. We've got our cake here that's nice and cool. Let's go ahead and peel down our parchment. Now we're only going to use about half of this, so you're going to have half a cake left over. Go ahead and get a knife here. And we'll go ahead and just cut this in half. Just like so. And we only need about a half. So let's go ahead and take half of it and we'll put it on a plate. And we'll take that other half and we can set it aside and do something with it later. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and take your graham cracker crust here and take that 1/2 of a cake and just start breaking it up and dropping it in there. Big hunks, little hunks, it doesn't matter. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this about 1/3 of the way full. Once we got this done, we'll be back. Stop recording. Alright, so we've got our cake broken up and covered up our graham cracker crust in the bottom. Now we can just go ahead and set that off to the side and move on to our next step. Go ahead and get you a big bowl. Now what I've got here is I've got an instant cheesecake mix. I'll leave a link in the description for you. You just mix this up with some milk and let it set up in the refrigerator. Pretty easy. But I want mine to be chocolate, so being this is instant, I'm going to add some instant chocolate pudding to it as well to try to beef it up some. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. And if I'm not mistaken, it calls for 3 cups of milk. Ooh, smoky. Smoky, smoky. Man, does it smell good. Alright, now to make this chocolatey, what we're going to do is we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of this chocolate pudding mix. That's just to give it that hint of chocolate flavor without changing the texture of it or the density of it any. And 3. Alright, you guys know I like my canned milk. Just makes everything so much more creamy. Alright, so got my evaporated milk here. Grab my church key. Always give your cans a shake. Air hole. Pour spout. Air hole. Pour spout. Alright, let's go ahead and get those poured in. And we'll get it mixed up. I don't know. Doesn't look chocolatey, but of course it's not meant to be chocolate. It was a plain cheesecake. Alright, so now that we've got that mixed up, let's go ahead and take our pan here, and we're just going to go ahead and pour this in. Alright, there we go. Let's give that a little tap here. Make sure it flows over to all the edges. Gets everything covered. Now we'll just go ahead and stick this in the fridge and wait for it to set up. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see how it turned out. Undo your spring form. Take it off. Find an edge here. Just peel that paper off. Coming around. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, so now what we're going to want to do is we want to put this on something that's a little bigger than that bottom. Now that we've got our cheesecake out of our spring form, it's probably not going to come off that bottom too easy. So I just set the whole thing inside of a large casserole dish here. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a can of cherry pie filling. This is a 15-ounce can. Normally they come as 21-ounce cans, but 15 will work just fine as well. We're just topping it. Just go ahead and pour that across the top. Spread it out. Let that juice start dripping down the sides. Alright, there you have it. Chocolate cherry cheesecake with graham cracker crust. Alright, let's give it a try. I went ahead and moved it over to a serving tray to make it easier. And that parchment that's on the bottom, get up under the edge of it and you should be able to just slide it out from under there and just pull the parchment out whole and throw it away. That's what I did. Alright, let's give this thing a shot. Alright, here's our cheesecake. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Nice cheesecake flavor. Just a hint of that chocolate in the background. Big pieces of devil's food cake. And then the cherry pie filling on top. Just amazing. Alright, that's it for today's episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit me up on my Patreon. I really appreciate it. Share the videos with everybody you know. I need to get the word out. On Saturday, we're going to be doing something kind of different. We're going to be doing something with some hot links. You'll have to tune in for that one. So until next time, keep rummaging through the cabinets, keep rifling through the fridge, and turn those what ifs into a one-off.